Big changes are brewing on the water. The Cape Coral waterfront market is shifting and fast. Inventory is shrinking. Momentum is no longer on the buyer's side. What looked like a never-ending buyer's paradise back in March is already tightening up. We are still firmly in a buyer's market, but inventory has been decreasing rapidly. Sellers, tired of constant price cuts, are showing patience and even pulling homes off the market until conditions turn in their favor. At the same time, builders have slowed their pace, easing the flood of new homes hitting the market. Adding fuel to the fire, the Federal Reserve cut rates by 0.25%, and mortgage rates have now slipped below 6.3%. Every rate drop boosts buying power, which means more buyers will soon be stepping into the market and competing for Canal homes. Now the big question is now the time to buy while competition is still low? Because if rates continue to fall, the window to score an amazing deal on a Gulf access property may not stay open for long. In this September 2025 Cape Coral market update for the Gulf access homes, we'll also break down which Cape Coral quadrant is seeing the most activity and which area still gives you the biggest bang for your buck. Now, if you're looking to own a piece of paradise here on the water, I'm Barry Cessna, your Cape Coral waterfront realtor. And if you're thinking about buying, selling, relocating, or retiring here in Cape Coral, I'd love to chat with you. Go ahead and click the link in the description to schedule your complimentary strategy call with me, just like so many others have already done. Now let's make your Cape Coral dream a reality. Okay, let's dive into the numbers.
Hey guys, welcome in. It's the Cape Coral Gulf Access Homes Market Update for September 2025. I'm Barry Cessna, your Cape Coral waterfront realtor. I've got a lot of great information to cover in this market update. We're going to talk about how inventory is starting to drop substantially, so there's not as many homes available to choose from at the moment, and also what the impact of interest rates dropping is having now in the city of Cape Coral and what I foresee for the next several months. Also, we're going to chat about how I just purchased a home here in the city of Cape Coral, my second home here in Cape Coral, right on a Gulf access canal. It's absolutely stunning, exciting to buy a home right now. And I'm going to break that down and why I chose to buy a home now and not wait until later, because I believe we're getting real close to the bottom of the market. So let's jump into that. We're going to talk about the numbers and see why I believe that and how we're going to move forward from here. First up, we're going to talk about market indicators. This tells us exactly how the market is doing. We look at the numbers here. We could care less about the headlines. The headlines paint a picture that's very grim from time to time, and then the next month they're painting a very beautiful picture. So we're going to look at the numbers. That tells us exactly what's going on and what to expect going forward. First up is inventory. Inventory is how many homes are currently available on the market for selection. If these homes are available, this is our supply. Median price point, 50% of the homes sold above this amount, 50% of the homes sold below this amount. Days on the market. How many days are homes sitting on the market before going under contract? This talks to us a little bit about the demand. Closed sales. Now this is actually the amount of homes that are closing here in the city of Cape Coral each month. So we're going to look at those numbers. I think you're going to be surprised. They keep making it out to be that Cape Coral is a ghost town. It's not. We're seeing close to 400 to 500 sales on the single family market here in the city of Cape Coral every single month for the last several months. Now that's going to slow up just a bit as we get into the fall months, as it always does. Active inventory. First up, we're going to look at active inventory. Currently for Gulf access canal homes here in the city of Cape Coral, single family homes, we have 601 homes available. May 2025, we had 801 homes available. In August 2024, we had 617 homes available. Now, this is the first time in probably the last couple of years where we've seen a year-over-year decrease in inventory as opposed to an increase in inventory, which that surprised me, but I know what's going on. Really what's happening here is a lot of the sellers who don't need to sell, they put their homes on the market back in January, February, March, just seeing what they could do. But they've come to the conclusion that people are not willing to pay what they want for their house. We've seen about a 20% decrease in prices since the peak back in 2022. However, they've come to the bottom now. They've said, nope, we're not going to give our house away. We think it's worth this much. And we're seeing this across the board. So we saw a ton of homes come off the market here once we got into the middle of summer and the end of summer. So the first decrease that we've seen in the last few years, we're now sitting at 601 homes available. Now this is Gulf access canal homes here in the city of Cape Coral compared to 617 last year. Is that going to keep trending down? Well, it has been, but going into the next couple of months, I expect that to keep dropping. However, once we get back into January and February, we will see a little bit of a spike. How much so will be determined. As you can see the chart right here, back in August 2024, and then we really jumped in inventory going from November up till March, and then it was like a roller coaster, just started dropping. So people in Cape Coral, a lot of them that own second homes, they really don't need to sell their home, but they wanted to test the market back here in January, February, March just to see what would happen, but they weren't willing to give away their home for less than what they thought it was worth. So they're willing to hold on to that. They're not in dire straits. They're not overly motivated. However, there were some sellers that were motivated, and that's where the lower price points came in, where we were able to get some really great opportunities for my buyers. Now up next is median price point. August 2025, we're sitting at $650,000 for a Gulf Access Canal home here in the city of Cape Coral. May 2025, we were sitting at $690,000. In August 2024, $776,250. Now that might look like a huge decrease, which obviously it is, year over year decrease. However, if we look at the chart down here, we had a kind of an outlier month where it jumped up to 776, and then right after that, September, October, November, we were actually just over 650,000 there, and then we jumped a little bit in December, and then as we've been dropping just a little bit ever since. So we are definitely down year over year, median price point wise. However, it's not as big as a $125,000 drop, and we've kind of stabilized the last couple of months. It'll probably drop just a bit. What we're watching now is interest rates, and if they start to come down even more, we're at 6.3 this week, and if they fall below 6, I expect the prices to start leveling out, and then of course adjusting upward as more buyers come into the market. Days on the market, August 2025, 89 days on the market, which is absolutely huge. A lot of homes sitting on the market for extended periods of times, and these are the homes that are clearly overpriced, that just aren't, that are bringing that whole median price point up. The homes that are value priced or that are priced correctly or that have a lot of upgrades and are matched the market are selling quicker than that. It's still definitely 60 days plus for even a good home to be selling on the market. May 2025, we're at 94 days on the market. August 2024, 1 year ago, 75 days on the market. So as you can see, we've been up and down. Now January was kind of odd. I'm not sure why we fell that much there, but as you can see, we've been up and down, and we're starting to trend back down from where we were in July, which was over 100 days for a Gulf Access Canal home here in the city of Cape Coral. Closed sales. So Gulf Access Canal homes, August 2025, we had 65 sales of Gulf Access Canal homes in May 2025, 101. In August 2024, 70 closed sales for Gulf Access Canal homes here in the city of Cape Coral. So as you can see, it was down just a bit, and we've kind of been tracking down just a bit all year since the beginning of 2025. We got off to a really slow start in January. We've been trying to play catch up, but for most of the months, we've actually been a little lower on sales. And a lot of that has to do with buyer confidence. Also has to do with our Canadian friends from the north have not been coming down as frequently. So there is some challenges there where they're not looking to purchase real estate. Or I think if they were here all year purchasing real estate, like they have been in years past, that number would have definitely been over and would have been higher each month, year over year. So we're going to track that and see where that goes over the next several months. As you can see here, closed sales usually gets pretty low once we get into the fall months in the winter, and then we'll spike back up March, April, May, June. Like I said, January just started off really slow this last year. We built a little bit in February, and then we were right on cue for season when the most competition is here. So if you're a buyer, do you want the most competition or do you want the least competition? So just pay attention. The next several months, I think, are going to be some real opportunity here in the city of Cape Coral. Go ahead and click that link in the description to book your strategy call so we can strategize and put together your plan for living the dream here in Cape Coral, having that Gulf Access Canal home where you can park your boat right in the backyard. Absolutely amazing. But yeah, you definitely want to be buying when there's not a lot of competition. Once the competition ends, sure, there will be more inventory in this time, but you'll have more competition. So if you can find a great home in this time frame, this is the time to pull the trigger. Let's jump forward into months of inventory. Now, this is really important to understand. This is how many months it would take to sell out all of our inventory if not another home came to the market. So August 2025, months of inventory is 9.2. May 2025, 7.9. August 2024, 8.8. So we're really right on key, just slightly higher than we were 1 year ago. But what I want to point out, When we look at the overall single-family housing market here in the city of Cape Coral, and you can click the link to go to my other video that I did for the market report for single-family homes, all of the single-family homes here in the city of Cape Coral. And what that'll show you is that for the months of inventory, we're actually just below 6%. I think it was 5.8 months of homes available, which means we're actually not even in a buyer's market anymore for regular single-family homes, or all of the single-family homes put together here in the city of Cape Coral. A buyer's market is anything over 6 months. A seller's market is anything under 4 months, and 4 to 6 months is considered a neutral market. So looking at this chart here, as you can see, the yellow line is where our neutral market is at. And we've been above that for quite a while now. And we early jumped in January when we saw a ton of homes come to the market. And then as the season kicked off, we started getting those bought up and started dropping pretty rapidly. And now we're sitting at 9.2, which is still a great place for buyers to be. However, I think we'll stay there probably for the next few months. Once we get back into season next year, really it depends on what interest rates do. Now, if the unemployment continues to creep up a little bit, then we are going to see interest rates come down, which in fact will probably start to see inventory decrease, because we'll have a lot of buyers coming into the market. As interest rates drop, that increases buyer power. So that means more people can afford to buy what they want to buy. I know a lot of buyers are sitting on the sidelines right now just waiting because they see these beautiful homes, but their monthly payment isn't where they want it to be. So once interest rates start to decrease, that's going to bring more people into the market. And then once they purchase those homes, they understand that the market's going to turn eventually, and then they can refinance. Other key numbers to be aware of: sold price per square foot, $344 a square foot for a single family golf access home here in the city of Cape Coral. List price received, 95.1%. That's basically 5% off the list price. So whatever this list price is, the median is 5% off. So I've been seeing actually a lot of my clients get even more than 5% off. The home I just purchased here in Cape Coral was on the Gulf Access Canal, direct access out to the Clusatchie River and then on down to the Gulf. And I actually got a bigger than 5%. It was closer to 7 or 8%, I believe, on that one. New listings, 109 new listings coming to the market. 109 new homes came to the market here in the last month. Months of inventory, like we just talked about, 9.2 months of inventory, which is still a buyer's market. But if interest rates continue to drop, that's going to continue to drop as well. Okay, let's compare quadrants. So in Cape Coral, we have 4 main quadrants. We have the northeast, northwest, southeast, and southwest. Now the northeast does not have any Gulf Access Canal homes in that area. So we're going to look at the other 3 quadrants. First up is southeast. Median price point was $567,500 for a Gulf Access Canal home here in the city of Cape Coral in the southeast section. Southeast is where the hospital is located, the downtown Cape Coral, the yacht club, lots of different stores and shops, very convenient area. $567,500, where I really say is the best value. 26 homes sold, homes available, 232 months of inventory, 8.9 months. Median price for Southwest Cape Coral, $735,000. This is often considered one of the most desirable areas of Cape Coral. Very mature properties, lots of great yards. Everything is beautiful there near Cape Harbor, Tarpon Point. Lots of great amenities, and they just recently took out the Chiquita Lock, which opened up the direct access for a lot of people on Southwest, on the spreader over there. So that is going to increase property values just a bit. We'll see how that plays out over the next several months. Homes sold, 28 homes sold. Homes available, 256 currently. Months of inventory, 9.1. Moving on to Northwest Cape Coral, where I believe is the biggest opportunity. The area is exploding. Lots of new properties up there, lots of new builds, where if you want beautiful new construction for a great value, this is the place to be. Median price, $830,625. 10 homes sold in the month of August. Homes available, 112 currently. Months of inventory, 11.2. And this is near the future 7 Islands and the Pine Island Corridor and Burnstore Road. Easy access to Punta Gorda, Matlacha. And if you're taking your boat down the spreader over there, the North Spreader, you can be out to Matlacha Pass, Charlotte Harbor, Boca Grande. Really beautiful islands over there that you can get access to. Okay, the key numbers. Now these numbers are what dictate the real estate market. We have to understand these numbers and what they're doing, and then that'll help us understand if the prices are going up or down, or we need to pay attention. Inflation peaked at 9.1% back in June 2022. That's when they started really increasing interest rates. Now we're sitting at 2.9%. But that did increase just a bit over the last couple of months. It was closer to 2.6, 2.7, and we are seeing that jump just a bit. November 2023, we peaked at interest rates at 8.01%. We're now sitting at 6.27%, and we're trending down. Our target was 6.5%. I said if we stay under 6.5% for any length of time, we're really going to see a lot of buyers start to enter the market. Now, if we get below 6%, you really need to pay attention. If you've been sitting on the sidelines and you've been saying, Barry, I'm waiting till the market hits the bottom. I want to wait and get the best option, best opportunity, save the most money. If this gets below 6% for any length of time, you better make sure that you take action quickly. So if you're one of those people that's sitting on the sidelines, go ahead and reach out to me, hit that link, schedule your strategy call, and let's chat, because you need to be prepared and ready to go when that happens, because that's going to bring a lot of buyers into the market. People that could only afford a $500,000 house before now might be able to afford a $600,000 house or a $700,000 house, depending on what the rates do and how far they drop. So when that happens, that brings more buyers, more competition, and more people purchasing homes, which then of course increases the property value. Unemployment is at 4.3%. Now, I said in staying steady, it has been hovering between 3.8 and 4.2 for the last couple of years. Now we actually jumped to 4.3%, and they're expecting that to jump even higher. As that jumps higher, interest rates should come down, because a poor employment market or a poor jobs market will decrease the interest rates. The Federal Reserve just decreased the interest rates 1/4 point. They're expected to decrease the rates again here before the end of the year. And that'll just make this number keep dropping further. Now, our current supply of inventory in the city of Cape Coral for single-family homes is 2,529. This is all single-family homes here in the city of Cape Coral. That's a year-over-year decrease of 1.4%. Now, like I said, this is the first time we've had a decrease in inventory for quite some time. So this is something to really pay attention with year over year. Buyers are saying, or I'm sorry, sellers are saying, I'm not willing to give away my house. Sellers here in Cape Coral have a lot of equity in their house. Maybe they want to sell, but they don't need to sell. And they're willing to wait until the market turns so they can get the money that they want to get for their homes. So that's why we saw a huge decrease. We saw a lot of homes come off the market just because of sellers saying, not going to do it. And then we also saw a lot of builders start to slow down their building as well, which decreased inventory. Population currently is estimated at 240,000 people. 5 years, we're expected to be at 260,000. By 2050, 320,000, often ranked as one of the fastest growing cities in the entire country. And Forbes magazine just came out and ranked Cape Coral as the #2 most affordable retirement market, or most affordable city to retire in all the United States. So that draws a lot of attention to us. And when that happens, people start paying attention to Cape Coral. So pay attention as well and get in before the prices start to jump. So that brings us to, is now the time to buy? Yes, I've been saying yes for several months now because our market has been down. Sellers are willing to negotiate. Sellers are willing to give you better deals. So if you're waiting for the market to bottom out, but you can get a 6% discount now, a 7% discount now because you find a motivated seller, or I help you find a motivated seller, now's the time to buy. Because as the market levels out, and if interest rates keep dropping, the market's going to level very quickly and then start going the other direction. So now's a great time. You don't have as much competition. You can find the house that you want at the right price point and then hold on and wait. You're definitely, if you're buying now, you want to hold on to it for 3 to 5 years. If you say I'm going to buy a house now and sell it next year, don't do that. That's not going to be to your best interest. But if you're in a position to buy, you're sick and tired of the north, those cold winters, and you'd rather just be here enjoying the water, enjoying your boat in your backyard, now is a great time. I just purchased a home right on a direct Gulf access canal. Like I said, I was seeing my clients get some excellent opportunities, and I said I'm going to test the waters. So I started putting in a few offers here and there. I found a house that was really great for my family, put in an offer. It was accepted, and we were able to close. Got a beautiful 2,500 square foot home for under $600,000, which is spectacular compared to where they were just a couple years ago. Rates are dropping. This is going to drive up prices. Like we just talked about, if it goes below 5%, look out, they're going to jump. I'm sorry, if they get below 6%, they're going to jump. If they got below 5%, it's over. You missed your opportunity. So, but pay attention, because if it gets below 6%, if you don't take action, you're going to lose that opportunity as well. Buyer's market, end of summer. So yes, we're currently in a buyer's market. It is the end of summer, and we don't have as much competition here. So not as many homes on the market. So if you do find one that you do like, you don't have as much competition, so you can negotiate that. Sellers are still willing to negotiate if the homes are on the market. They may be a bit motivated, and we can test the waters and see exactly where they're at in order to get you the best opportunity. So is now the time to sell? I believe we're getting close. I don't think we're quite there yet. You need to know why you want to sell. You need to know what your motivation is. Is it a necessity? If you don't need to sell, you may still want to hold on to it a little bit longer. If you do need to sell, then definitely put it on the market with the right expectations. You have to understand what homes are selling. The newer homes, the homes that are updated, those are the homes that are selling. The homes that need updating, that are overpriced, they're not selling. They're just sitting on the market. Strategic selling, you have to understand strategic selling. You have to be working with a realtor like myself who understands the market, who understands how to market properties through social media, YouTube, AI. We use a lot of different tools in order to strategically place your home in the right position to get the maximum amount of exposure. So if you'd like to learn more about that, go ahead and book a strategy call with me, and we can talk about what it would take to get your home sold, what price your home would sell for in the current market, and what the future looks like for you. Maybe you should wait, or maybe you shouldn't, but let's talk strategy and figure out exactly what makes sense for you. Okay, that concludes the Gulf Access Canal Home 2025 September market update. Hope you found some valuable information here. I am always excited to chat with you, so go ahead and book a call with me, and let's chat about your future here in the city of Cape Coral, where you're parking your boat right in your backyard and then sailing out to open water for a beautiful day on the water of beach hopping. Maybe it's out to dining at one of the local waterfront eateries. All kinds of opportunity here in Cape Coral. Looking forward to chatting with you, making realty dreams a reality here in Cape Coral.